In the letter, Roman stated that the aura emission technique developed by Alexander, the emperor of Kronos, was flawed from its very foundation. To redefine the entire system of aura and introduce a new direction for swordsmanship, Roman announced that a special gathering would be held. He invited everyone from the Kronos Empire to attend this event and become part of a historic moment in martial history. Upon reading the letter, Alexander became furious and destroyed it using his magic. Aura was Alexander's reverse scale, his untouchable pride. If Alexander had not been an ignorant ruler but a true martial master, or if he had simply understood what martial arts truly meant, his life might have taken an entirely different path. Alexander was enraged that Roman Dimitry dared to call his life's achievements petty and fundamentally wrong. Feelings of inferiority, rage, and jealousy boiled within him, emotions beyond description. Grinding his teeth in anger, Alexander declared that he would personally witness Roman's so-called presentation with his own eyes. The scene then shifted to the Salamander Continent's Swordsmanship Association, where one of the representatives addressed the members, stating that Roman Dimitry had the audacity to deny the achievements of their emperor, Alexander, and even sent them an invitation to his swordsmanship presentation as if mocking them. The representative questioned what Roman was thinking by hosting such a bold event. Another member agreed, claiming that Roman's presentation was a direct challenge to every aura swordsman across the continent. Sergel, the head of the Swordsmanship Association, then spoke, asserting that Roman Dimitry had denied the very existence of aura itself. If they were to sit idly by and ignore such arrogance, one day the Swordsmanship Association would lose its honor and authority. Therefore, Sergel declared that the association must attend Roman's presentation in person, and if even a single flaw was found in his theory, they would crush Roman Dimitry's reputation completely and trample his name into the ground. Soon, not only the Swordsmanship Association but also nations across the continent, except for Dimitry, began to harbor doubts. The scene then shifted to Dimitry, where a meeting was being held in a grand conference room. Baron Conrad reported to Roman that news of the swordsmanship presentation had caused an uproar throughout the continent. He asked whether there was even a need to persuade anyone further, warning that if the redefinition of aura truly took place during this event, it might lead to the unwanted leakage of valuable martial techniques. Other nobles from Dimitry agreed with Baron Conrad, emphasizing that Dimitri's unique techniques should never be shared with outsiders. Roman remained silent, listening carefully to everyone's concerns. The scene then transitioned to a memory, to Namgung Jinshin, once praised as the greatest genius in the history of the Namgung clan. Jinshin had witnessed the downfall of the righteous martial world with his own eyes. The once proud sword of the Namgung clan, long regarded as the best under heaven, was shattered by Baek Joong-Hyuk. The sight that Baek Joong-Hyuk displayed that day was forever engraved into Jinshin's mind. Jinshin remembered the saying, "Know your enemy and know yourself, and you shall never be defeated." Determined to understand the demonic sect completely, he devoted himself to mastering the martial arts that formed the foundation of Baek Joong-Hyuk's heavenly demon techniques. He believed that by doing so, he might one day achieve the same level of strength and enlightenment. Years passed, 1 year, then 2, then 10, and Jinshin finally realized that the martial arts of the demonic sect were not inherently special. It was Baek Joong-Hyuk himself who was extraordinary beyond measure. Frustrated and disheartened, Jinshin eventually confronted Baek Joong-Hyuk, asking why he had revealed those techniques to him in the first place. Even after struggling for 190 years to master the demonic arts, Jinshin had not come close to reaching the level of Baek Joong-Hyuk, the man whose existence defined the pinnacle of martial perfection. Jinshin further asked if Baek Joong-Hyuk wanted people like him to realize the overwhelming gap and fall into despair. Baek Joong calmly replied that yes, that was precisely what he wanted. As time passes, the memory of defeat always fades, and those who fail to remember that day will eventually harbor resentment toward the heavenly demon sect. So Baek Joong wanted those people to study the martial arts of the demonic sect and personally realize how truly great his achievements were. He told Jinshin to remember that despair well, for if Jinshin lacked the resolve to overcome it, then he should kneel, because above all in the martial world stands the heavenly demon sect. Baek Joong declared that Jinshin should accept the truth that Baek Joong-Hyuk, the heavenly demon, exists above them all. From that day onward, until the moment Baek Joong's last breath, no one in the martial world ever dared to rebel against him again. The scene then transitions to the present, where Roman stands before the gathered crowd. With a calm yet commanding tone, Roman declares that what he intends to reveal through the upcoming swordsmanship presentation is merely the foundational principle, one that will completely redefine the concept of aura itself. Roman vows to seize the glory that Alexander once built and etch the name of Dimitry into the annals of history. He proclaims that latecomers will never surpass Dimitry, because while others only grasp fragments of the truth, the complete understanding belongs solely to Dimitry. Roman urges everyone present not to fear revealing these fundamentals, for by doing so, they will open the gates to an entirely new era of swordsmanship. A few days later, the scene shifts to the kingdom of Umberto. Inside the royal hall, King Umberto expresses his confusion, stating that he truly cannot comprehend Lord Roman's intentions. If Roman had indeed developed techniques far superior to the current system, the king wonders why he would invite even the Kronos Empire to witness them. Aaron respectfully explains that perhaps Lord Roman views even the newly developed aura system as knowledge worth sharing with the world. King Umberto, still puzzled, asks Aaron to clarify what he means. Aaron then elaborates that Lord Roman possesses the nature of a true conqueror, a man born to reshape history itself. Through this presentation, Aaron explains, if Roman succeeds in stealing the title of first pioneer from Alexander, then Dimitry will no longer be seen as just a frontier territory of Cairo, but as the birthplace of the one who redefined the entire system of aura. At that moment, a guard enters the hall and announces that Lord Roman has arrived. The grand doors open, and Roman walks in with firm, confident steps. Standing before the crowd, he begins by declaring that Alexander's method of emitting aura was fundamentally flawed. Alexander once taught that by releasing mana explosively, one could manifest a powerful aura, but Roman explains that this method is incredibly inefficient. Unrefined bursts of mana are released indiscriminately, and it is only natural that such an uncontrolled process cannot be efficient. The audience stirs in shock, unable to believe that Roman dares to challenge Alexander's teachings so openly. Roman continues, asking why no one has ever questioned Alexander's method before. It was because Alexander was the first pioneer, the one whose teachings were accepted as absolute truth. Meanwhile, Sergel, the head of the Swordsmanship Association, grits his teeth in frustration, furious that Roman is belittling their revered emperor so openly. But Roman continues without hesitation. He explains that aura and magic are not so different. In magic, mana is stacked within circles, refined, and then released as spells. So why, Roman asks, has no one ever considered stacking aura in a similar way, within a circle-like structure? Aaron, listening from the side, is visibly shocked as the implication sinks in. Roman then draws his sword, releasing a faint glow of aura around it. He declares that what he is about to show them is not the reckless, uncontrolled emission they are used to, but a refined method that uses a storage space similar to a magic circle, the Dantian. He explains that by storing aura within the Dantian, one can release mana with absolute precision depending on the situation. As Roman speaks, the audience watches in awe as the aura on his blade rises, steady, calm, and pure. The quiet, controlled energy is unlike anything they have ever seen before. Then, a large boulder is placed before Roman. Without hesitation, he swings his sword once, and the boulder shatters instantly. The hall falls silent. Roman then states that this technique of releasing mana from a storage space is what magicians call magic. With a slight smile, he swings his sword several more times, each strike clean and controlled, reducing the shattered rock into countless smaller fragments. Everyone is stunned. The precision, the calmness, and the power are unlike anything the old aura system could produce. Sergel, Aaron, and King Umberto watch in disbelief, their faces filled with shock and awe. Roman finally lowers his sword and declares with confidence that he calls this act of releasing mana from the Dantian martial arts